सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्।
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Good morning, bonjour. My topic for today is knowledge is strength. Knowledge of what? Knowledge of our true nature. Knowledge about ourselves, our true being, who we are in truth. You just see page number 49. All the strength and succor you want is within yourself. Therefore, make your own future. Let the dead past bury its dead. The infinite future is before you, and you must always remember that. Each word, thought, and deed lays up a store for you, and that, as the bad thoughts and bad books are ready to spring upon you like tigers, so also there is the inspiring hope that the good thoughts and good deeds are ready with the power of 100,000 angels to defend you always and forever. Stand up, be bold, be strong, take the whole responsibility on your own shoulders, and know that you are the creator of your own destiny. Yeah, there will be moments in our life when we feel totally overpowered by negative thoughts, sometimes failures. They all try to pull us down. But Swami is saying, don't become desperate, don't get discouraged. Just as the negative thoughts are trying to pull you down, the positive thoughts, right? The positive forces are also at work simultaneously. They are trying to pull you up. Swamiji always used to tell this story. Now, it's a very famous story in Vedanta. We have forgotten our real nature. That is the only problem in the world. For all the suffering Okay, for all the misery that there in the world, the reason is we have totally forgotten our true nature, true being. We are wrongly identified with the physical body and the mind, and we think we are the body and we are the mind. But Vedanta says that we are neither the body nor the mind. We are essentially the spirit. We are essentially consciousness. We are essentially Atman. We are essentially the self. The self has these two adjuncts, namely the physical body and the mind. They are upadhis, adjuncts, instruments. They are not you. You have these two as your instruments. So all the suffering pertains to either physical or the psychological. These two are you, not that. So if there is some suffering to the mind, let the mind suffer. I have nothing to do with the mind and its suffering. It is separate from me. It is really separate. But you are wrongly identified with it. We think this is I am. And so the suffering of the mind you take upon yourself. But you are eternally separate from the mind. So we are eternally the Atman or consciousness. There was a lioness which was pregnant, and one day it was in search of its prey. It saw a group of sheep. The flock of sheep was going. As soon as the flock saw the lioness, they started running away from the lioness. The lioness chased the flock of sheep. It just jumped on one sheep. In the process, so it was carrying, right? It was pregnant. It had, delivered the baby and it passed away. The lioness died. The lion cub now, it's a male lion. So lion actually grew up in the midst of those sheep. The sheep took pity of this cub, and then the cub also started growing with the sheep. Because for now to feed the cub, there was no lioness around. And so the cub was growing alone with the sheep, but it had no option and no food. It also started grazing along with the sheep, the flock in which it was growing up. So it slowly learnt, though lion cannot eat grass, the lion cub, because mother was not there, though no lioness around, another lioness to feed it. So it started eating the grass along with the sheep. Now it got habituated to eating the grass. As it learned, as it saw all around the sheep bleating all the time, the cub also started bleating, though lion is supposed to roar. But it has forgotten its real nature because it was growing up in the midst of sheep, flock of sheep. And then it started bleating. It learned bleating with great difficulty. The bleating is not there in its nature. It's not there in its genes. What is there in its genes? Only roar is there in its genes. A lion is supposed to roar only. But roar only was coming, but it suppressed the roar. Because all along, all fellow mates, sheep, they were bleating and thinking that actually I should bleat like that, not I should not. Eh? Roar. So it suppressed its inner nature, set it aside, and started bleating like all other sheep. So it grew up, but after all, lion is a lion. Okay? It's a fully grown lion now. So lion moving in the midst of sheep. Other sheep also never feared this lion because this lion actually grew among them from the cub. And one day, another lion happened to see this lion in the midst of a sheep, flock of sheep. And that lion got surprised. How come that the sheep are not afraid of the lion? And how this lion is actually staying in the midst of sheep? That's, you know, it was a very surprising spectacle for the new lion. So that lion actually wanted to ask this lion, why are you staying in the midst of the flock of sheep? What business you have got here? The sheep actually supposed to run away from the lion. But what is that actually the sheep are not afraid of you? How come actually you have befriended these sheep? So this lion caught this sheep lion. Okay? Caught this lion. What is your story? Then they said, no, the sheep lion started saying, I was born a sheep. I grew up as a sheep. I eat grass. I'm sheep only. But this new lion started telling it, no, 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 you are lion. But that sheep lion was not hearing. No, I am only sheep. You are trying to cheat me. I am only sheep because I eat grass. I bleed like any other sheep. No, 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 you are lion. The new lion was started telling. But this lion did not believe. And now this new lion, how to make this lion understand that this is a lion, this is not a sheep, this is not your place. So it dragged it to a nearby pond and it showed it its reflection. You see how I look, how you look. Just as I look and you look, right? I have mane, you have mane. Just as I roar, you also should roar. So this new lion roared, and this is your voice, and this is how you're supposed to roar. And then it taught them. So slowly it set aside its bleating and started roaring like the new lion. Then now it's realized. So this new lion brought a piece of meat and pushed it into the mouth and said, "Eat. This is your food. Grass is not your food." Okay? Just as I eat, and you also supposed to eat meat only. You are lion and I am lion. So this is our condition, Swamiji says, telling this story, because constantly thinking and believing that we are the physical body, we are the physical body, meditating on it. Okay, my needs are only physical necessities because I am only the body, I am only the mind, I am only the body, I am only the mind. This kind of hypnotization went on for bursts together, not for 1 day or 2 day or 1 month or 1 year. It has been happening for some births, and now we are in a total delusion. We think we are this material cage, we think we are this psychological cage, but we are not. People like Vivekananda, Shankaracharya, Buddha, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, such people come in our midst and they tell us that you are not sheep, you are lion. By believing that you are just body and mind, you have become like sheep, right? They come and tell us, they try to remind us of our true nature, that we are essentially consciousness, we are essentially spirit, we are essentially the infinite. The finite is not our real nature. You are wrongly identified with it. So, how to experience this? Just deny, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, and just see how much of strength comes to you. Intellectually, only we'll be doing that. As soon as you say, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, the spiritual experience will not come into our being. But keep denying the lower, the higher will manifest automatically. That's what Vivekananda did. That's what all the great people did. Once that spirit comes into awareness, that you realize yourself as a spirit, now you are really the infinite. And there's no force which can stop you. You are the creator of your destiny then. You'll become all powerful. You'll become almighty. Vivekananda would again and again say that all power is within you. You can do anything and everything. Do we have that power in us, really? Are we that capable? Yes, you are capable, not as body and mind, but as a spirit, as consciousness. So, how to realize that? Keep denying the lower. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind. Half of your problems will go away immediately, immediately. But once actual spirit comes into your experience, you will really understand that you are the infinite, you are the Atman, you are Ananda Swarupa, you are bliss personified, but searching for little glass beads. Though we are gold by nature, we are searching for little glass beads in this world, thinking that I want to be happy, I want to make myself happy. You are joy personified, you are bliss and condensed bliss that is there within us all. Only we have to experience, we have to realize that that can be done only by simply denying the lower nature of our being, that is body and mind. I am not the body, I am not the mind. Repeat this like a mantra, something great will happen in your life. Okay? Thank you. Nice day.